Well, out in the wilderness, look, you would have that shelter, and you would have the waterfall, you could go swimming.
So you're saying you could live here?
Yeah. And deer would probably want some water too. So when they're getting muddy, you could shoot them.
And what would you shoot them with?
A bow and arrow.
Oh. Have you seen the movie Last of the Mohicans?
I have not.
Okay, well this is where they filmed it. Right here. This is the waterfall. And you know the scene with the waterfall in it if you've seen the movie. Get out of here. And that is it. Well, hello and welcome to the Suburban Pilgrims Show. This is going to be, today, a little bit different show than we typically have. We are at the 6-month mark of our trip from when we launched out officially on the road as a family who sold everything, bought a travel trailer, and have lived nomadically traveling the US ever since. Welcome to the first episode of the Suburban Pilgrims. Okay? The first 6 months of our trip has been all about the adventure. Whoa!
I think, oh, it was a bunny.
All about seeing things and, hello. The next 6 months is gonna be a little bit different. And this show is gonna be a little bit about that, what that looks like for us. And hopefully something interesting for you too. We're still gonna do shows every week. Probably actually gonna be very similar, but a little bit of different focus for us. Focus is gonna be something different than just the travel and just the adventure part of it. Although it's still gonna be elements of it. We're still traveling around, we're still living nomadically. Anyways, let's get into it. Start with a little backstory of why we did this whole thing to begin with. Most of us, if we were really honest, would probably say that the life that we're living now is somewhat mediocre. For me, I think it's worth the risk involved in taking radical steps to live the life that you feel like you're supposed to live.
I just felt like our life was going in every which way and every direction, and my husband just lived to work, and I just felt like we just were losing everything that we really believed in and wanted as the foundation for our family.
Hello, Pilgrims, here in South Carolina. We're on the border of South Carolina and Georgia. One thought that my wife and I have been having lately as we've been going about this adventure, we've been on the road officially for about 6 months now. When we first left on this journey, we wanted to find for ourselves what mattered most in the world. We were hoping that we would find like a group of people or a cause or a community or a belief, something that for us was like, this is it. This is the thing that matters most in the world. And so we thought, giving up everything, selling everything would make that really easy. Once we found the thing that mattered most, it'd be easy to build our new life, whatever that life looked like, around that thing. And so that for us is really what this journey was about. At the end of the day, we want something more impactful. I think for everybody, if we're super honest and we look really, really intently at our life, and I think we'd all agree that we want there to be something more. It's easy to get trapped in, sometimes we would say like a rut, where we keep doing the same things day after day after day, hoping maybe for something to change eventually, but at the end of the day, we're sometimes left with that question of, why are we doing this? There's got to be something more. There's got to be a reason. They say there's two types of people who are running from something and people who are running to something. And I don't think that's the case with everybody. But I think for my wife and I, we do fall into the category of we were running to something. It's almost like a scratch inside that you just can't itch. And it's easy to ignore it, especially when you have a really busy life. It's easy to kind of push that thing down and think one day we'll deal with that. For us, like, we lived a busy life, and then on the weekends we would go do trips because that was a really easy way to forget about it. We just didn't want to really deal with that itch, and we haven't quite yet. So one of the things we're going to do tonight as a family, we're going to sit down and we're each coming up with some goals, some things that we would like to do or see or change about ourselves, and not in like a negative way, not like, you're a terrible person, change that. If you had everything you could possibly want, everything in the world, if somebody sat down and said, hey, I'm going to give you everything you need to live the life that you want to live, what would that life look like for you? Most of us would be pretty similar in some ways, pay off debts or get a bigger house. I'd want to travel, I'd want to do those sorts of things. But after you get past that stuff, what would your life really look like? And I think, this may not be true, but I think most people would come back to a place where it wouldn't be so much about ourselves, it would be about other people, kids or family or friends. And then we might get to the place where it's like even strangers, I'd want to impact their life for the better. So when you look at that, when you get to that place, if you get to that place, then the question becomes, well, how? What would that thing be? How would you impact others, other people? How would you change yourself? What skills would you need to learn? What would you start, or what would you become a part of to be able to impact other people? And I think those are the kind of questions we're trying to get at with our family tonight. Because the thing that I've discovered for myself is usually those things when it comes down to how do I personally want to take the skills and the talents that I have, and how do I want to use those to impact other people? It usually doesn't involve very much money or really anything that difficult other than a desire to do it and the motivation to actually go out and do it. We always think we have to wait for something, or one day, or when this changes or that happens. I think in most cases, though, it's not really true. I think that those things could be now if you really, really wanted to. This first leg of our journey has been all about exploring and adventure, and I think we want the next 6 months to really impact people in some positive way. So we'd love to hear from you. What does that look like for your family? Because we don't know for us. We're going to come up with some goals and some ideas, but what would that look like for you? And not just like throwing money at a problem, but how would you, using your talents and your specific personality and the way that you are, how would you make a positive difference for other people? And what is that positive difference? That's a big question too. Is it just solving the problems? Solving a problem makes life easier, but it doesn't necessarily get at that thing inside of us, that scratch that's so hard to itch. So, we'll figure it out together. Come along with us. We get asked quite often, like, what is it like to really live in your trailer? Well, this is everyday normal stuff. This is the bathroom at our state park that we're at in North Carolina. We don't have 2 bathrooms in the trailer, so if you need another bathroom, you just walk up this trail. We just live in a huge house, like a mansion. And it's a little bit of a walk to the other bathroom. So anyways, there's our trailer and the end of our hallway. So our hallways, it's, by the way, this is not a real hallway. I was just kidding. This is just a trail, and that's just a state bathroom, in case everyone was like, whoa, they're living large. I mean, we are, but